Okay, in navigating loss, many of us can think of grieving as a means of letting go, not holding on, but what we're working towards is letting go. And that's often the term, let it go, let it go. But here's a quote that I think says it quite well. All the art of living lies in a fine mingling of holding on and letting go. So in grief processing, when I developed the 3A coping framework, I used several different models. And I did not use Elisabeth Kübler-Ross's model. What you may, because Elisabeth Kübler-Ross, even if you don't know grief, people often mention Elisabeth Kübler-Ross's stages of grieving: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But really what you may not know is that her model was devised for people who are dying, not for people who are grieving people who are dying. And there are really various different models that cover people who are grieving, people who are dying or have experienced another kind of loss. The three I used, actually there was four, but the three I'm mentioning here are attachment. Now you may think of attachment more between mother and child, like a secure attachment, insecure attachment, anxious attachment. Separation anxiety is something that adults experience when they have lost something that they hold near and dear. So you can feel that separation anxiety. And then there's the dual process model of coping with loss. Now, you may think of grieving in stages, but the dual process model of coping with loss is not a stage model of coping with loss. It is literally the letting go and holding on. It's the component in this model is oscillation, where you're alternating between restoring yourself and grieving. So it's happening at the same time. You have these feelings. After somebody passes away, you are dealing with the will. You're dealing with getting everything in order. After losing a job, you are grieving the losses, the loss of the routine, the loss of colleagues, the loss of self-esteem. But at the same time, you may be considering, going for career counseling, developing your skills, restoring yourself. So you're doing this at the same time, or looking for another job. So that's the dual process of coping with loss, is that it's happening simultaneously, restoring yourself while you are also grieving, and making time for both. Now, Worden's grief tasks is often used by grief counselors, and it's been around for over 20 years, and it involves tasks to work through. It's not so much a stage model as getting these tasks done. It's as accepting the reality of the loss, and acknowledging and assessing. Work through the pain, again, assessing the reaction, and adjusting to a different environment. So you know, we can even go back to that oscillation of adjusting and starting to let go. And then the fourth one is actually letting go and holding on, finding an enduring connection related to the loss while embarking on a new life. And that's where you can see that there's different grief models that are used to help you through loss. But in the 3A coping framework of acknowledge, assessing, and assisting, there are also other models that can be used to help you through. And one of them is mindfulness. Mindfulness is being in the present moment, being non-judgmental, and just allowing, again, that fourth A, allowing things to just be the way they are. Meditation is an exercise that is used in mindfulness to help ground you and to be in the moment. So, and there's breathing meditation. Your breath is a wonderful resource when you become upset, to take those few deep breaths to ground you, to bring you into the moment. So I invite you now to participate in a 5-minute breathing, mindful meditation, where you can do it from your seat, and I'll just guide you through it. If you don't want to participate, just sit, and you can sit quietly. Okay, so we begin sitting in a comfortable position. We're going to start the meditation. Your posture erect. Imagining there is a string extending from the top and center of your head, slightly and gently pulling you up. You can close your eyes or leave your eyes open and just at a 45-degree angle, not gazing at anything in particular. So you're settling into this moment in a comfortable posture. And just notice yourself as you're breathing. If you notice thoughts creeping in while you are trying to focus on your breath, just observe the thoughts, and without judgment, go back to your breath. Let the breath come in and out on its own, without altering it. Just witness as the observer. One breath may be long, another short. Notice how each breath is different. One breath may be jumpy, where another is smooth. Let the breath be as it is. Some people can focus on the breath better when counting them. We're going to try this now, continuing to breathe, but adding in a count from 1 to 10. We will put in the count at the end of the out breath. So you breathe in, and at the end of the exhale, you count 1. And then you breathe in and out, 2, and so on, until you get to 10, and then you start again at 1. And you can continue counting the breath until you hear my voice that brings you back into the room. Okay, you may want to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your head up and down, side to side. Come back into the room, open your eyes if your eyes have been closed.